Okay, recording is in progress. Daryl Snyder, Fantasy Sports Logic flying solo today. Brandon Abbey, he is on assignment. I believe he will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure about that, but this is our daily deeper dive video with one of our partners, Ballpark Pal. I am on the homepage of Fantasy Sports Logic. If you've not been here, encourage you to check it out. Nice short little 60-second video about the 7-day $1 test drive of the Contrarian Edge Optimizer. And then there's a little 3-minute video about the different features. We've added features. We've added the stack attack since that video. I'm going to show a little bit of that today. Some of our partners, there's Ballpark Pal, their cool little logo, FTN data, NeuroTracker, #1 cognitive training system in the world, RotoWire, SuperDraft, Topham, Underdog Sports Data, Dove Club. We're going to fire back up with those guys. The Baker engine. I don't have drafters listed here. They also screenshots and blah blah blah. Let's get on to the blog. Today, I've already posted the charts. As you can see, we do it every day. That's why it's called Daily Deeper Dive podcast in conjunction with today is Friday, July 28th. It is my mother's birthday. So happy birthday to Mom. These charts consist of 3,000 simulations of any given Major League Baseball game. Today, a pretty full slate, Giants and the Red Sox. They don't play that often. It's at Oracle Park. Excited about that game tonight. Logan Webb is on the mound. Daily Fantasy, Ballpark Pal Daily Home Run Report. I'll cover that. The Daily Fantasy Report, the starting pitcher preview, and the stadium report. So let me get to it. Let's see what the simulator and Aaron at Ballpark Pal has pointed out today as what could be some high probabilities of home runs. No surprise, Ohtani normally on this list. He's in Toronto facing Gosman. Gosman's a great pitcher, but Ohtani's a great hitter, and he's got a 30% chance to hit a home run today. Little boost with the matchup with Gosman. Little boost in Toronto with the Park. Next in line, Mickey Maniac. He's another Angel. A couple of Angels, interestingly, huh? Almost another 30% boost for a home run. 21% matchup with Gosman and 20% Park boost for Maniac. Luis Robert for the White Sox would be number 3, facing Xavier Curry. I believe that is an Indian pitcher, but Indian. There I go. It'd be a Guardian if it's Cleveland. We'll confirm that. It's got a nice 27, almost 28% boost. Matchup 33, Ballpark 14% in Chicago on the south side. Mookie Betts facing the Cincinnati Reds pitcher Brandon Williamson. And then Freddie Freeman. A couple of Dodgers there with nice boost, 25% boost to hit a home run, so 1 and 4, 22% matchup for Mookie, and 27%. A lot of info. You can see solid matchups beyond home runs. Look at Candelaria for the Nats. He's been rumored to be on the trade block. One of the pieces Washington may move if they get the right deal for him. 63% boost today against Scherzer, as well as Thomas, another national. And Brandon Belt, he's played well. Giolito, he's facing for who are they playing? I thought he got traded. Yeah, he's starting for the Angels, huh? Yeah. Say the White Sox traded him, so he's first start with the Angels. And looks like Belt has a nice matchup, almost 50%. In the boost, 27% with the pitcher. Belt's a lefty and he's solid against righties. So let's move on to the DFS, Daily Fantasy Report for Ballpark Pal. You see he lists by position. Nice 3 players by position. If you go to ballparkpal.com, you'll see he's got almost every player for the day. Just in these charts, top 3 by position, except for pitcher and outfielder, and it gives us 9. So Freeman, a Dodger bets. What I'd like to look for is what kind of a stack possibility. I see 3 Orioles at the top, right? Or no, not, there's 2 Orioles, Rushman and Henderson. Lindor is a Met. Gotta look through here, the outfielders. Anyways, the blue is projected FanDuel points if you play there. DraftKings, my platform of preference for DFS, is in green. The pitching, even though Gausman is matched up well with a couple of players that could hit knocks off of him, Manayak and Ohtani, is still the top projected points in DraftKings and FanDuel. A little over 23 in DraftKings. Next in line, Miller, Zach Wheeler of Philly, Garrett, a Florida Fish or Marlin. One of Brandon's players he would probably point out right away, Joe Musgrove, looking solid. Logan Webb, he's going to be fired up. Giants had a little 2-game stretch against the A's. They got back on track after losing 5 in a row. They're 9 over, same record as the Red Sox. Giants are currently in the wild card position and 3.5 behind Dodgers for the lead in the West. So I'll give you a lot of Giants information because if you haven't heard, named after my uncle, left-handed pitcher in their organization way back in New York before they moved in 1958 to San Francisco. So my mother and father liked, obviously, the Giants. They became a fan of, and then they had a shortstop, second baseman named Darryl Spencer, and I became Darryl, named after Darryl Spencer. And the rest is Giants history. We've had a lot of nothing happen. Some good teams with Bonds and Mays, McCovey, Marichal, and then we got spoiled. 2010, 12, 14 World Series winners. Thought it was going to be every other year, no matter what, right? But anyways, that was pretty fun to experience. I believe this year they have a shot. We'll see what kind of pieces they pick up. Outfielders, Acuna is always there. Really strong play, expensive. You can fit him into your lineup. There's Luis Robert for the White Sox. Brandon, I said it yesterday. It's either finding Brandon Nemo or finding Brandon Nimmo. Yelich, and then you can see Schwarber. Always possibility he'll hit one out of the park. Let's see how the starting pitcher preview. You can see he does a lot of different grading. Overall, out here on the left, green is good. That's like an A plus, A minus. I think dark green's A plus. These are the last 1,000 pitches from each individual pitcher of what they prefer to throw. You can see Olsen. He is a Tiger. He likes his slider, grades well. Likes his four-seam fastball. It grades well with an A and an A. And then his sinker, not as good. C plus, still not bad. Projected strong against the Marlins. A little over 5 innings, less than 2 runs, 5 strikeouts. Garrett on the opposite side of that game against Detroit has a nice slider. Looks like he needs to improve on his sinker and cutter. F and an F, but he still projected 7 strikeouts. So overall, not bad. Play at your own risk. Zach Wheeler. Wheeler's, I mean, if I play him, he usually doesn't perform like he could, but when I don't, he performs even better than he could. But today, it looks strong playing the Pirates, who don't have a lot of threats. You got Brian Reynolds, you got McCutcheon, you've got a few younger guys against Wheeler, Sawinski, lefty. But if you navigate around that, it is favorable. You can see Wheeler, nice overall, and then all three of his popular pitches. A plus, projected a little over 7 strikeouts. So without going through them all, I like to say, okay, fantasy, your 2 pitchers are very important. If I look at strikeout, Gosman projected at 9. He can do that. He's at over 10 in 2 games this year. Overall pitching decent, playing against those Sox. And you can see he's graded out, other than his slider. Looks like the slider isn't sliding, must be hanging, because it's grading with a D. So you can go and look who you might want to go against. Freeland, Colorado game, even though they're playing the A's, Freeland has not graded out well. Less than 4 strikeouts, FFF, and a D minus and an F. So, maybe somebody to target. You're probably, well, it's in Colorado, so somebody will be taking chances against Freeland, but I don't think that team will be as high on, and they're cheap. You can really piece some of them in there and play some of the studs opposite your 4 or 5 team stack. The other side of that, Sears against the Rockies, not bad. I think lefty, nice AA, D minus. Might want to stay away from his changeup. So that's interesting information. Drop down to Webby. I like him. He's a competitor. He's got his overall record 8-8. That's a tough race. You could have easily a dozen wins. Against those Red Sox tonight in a park that is favoring pitchers. I'll show you that in a moment. So Webb favored to go 6, less than 3 runs, almost 6 strikeouts. I always tend to migrate towards him. Against the Sox, he probably won't have a lot of ownership. So Miller, another one, 6.9. Must go for the Padres, pitched well of late against the Rangers. Other than his 4-seam fastball, looks like it's getting knocked around, and other 2 pitches, not too bad. What's the ballpark daily stadium report? This is what caught my eye in the beginning. I saw Aaron, he had this information, and I said, hey, why don't we collaborate? You provide these charts, I'll post them every day on the blog for free. All of his information is free anyway, and then he could become one of the 7 daily player projection partners in the optimizer, and a deal was struck. But what this does is it shows you the more favorable to the less favorable for runs. Coors Field, no surprise, always at the top. Even though the wind's coming in a little bit, warm, dry, high altitude, 28% run boost, 22% home run boost, 30% double and triple boost. Well, there are going to be a lot of hits in that game. Again, I like Oakland. Take a few shots with them today. Second favorable park is Camden Yards. Beautiful place. 17% boost, 13% home runs. Orioles against the Yankees. Rizzo's heated up as of late. Orioles are solid. Gunnar, Henderson, Rustman, Mullins. They got a nice team. They lead that division. That should be a good game, and looks like favoring a lot of runs. Hoffman Field at Kansas City can go both ways. It looks like today it's a boost in runs, but not in home runs. I don't know if maybe that's the combining of the pitchers. You got the Twins against the Royals, but the wind is blowing out. So they're favoring more singles and 12% less home runs. Number 4, guaranteed rate field in Chicago, again on the south side for those Sox, the Indians. The Indians, I said it again, formerly known as the Indians for so many years. The Guardians are playing the White Sox. The White Sox are minus some players they traded, and I think they're going to trade some more. Kind of looking at Anderson thinking he may be someone the Giants are looking at. I know some other teams are looking at him. He's picked it up after the All-Star break after a super slow first half. But anyways, look at that field, 14% boost in overall runs, home runs, 25% boost. So you might want to, that's why Robert was there. You probably want to look at Ramirez for the Indians, some other stats. I know Rosario went to the Dodgers, so they lost him. Anyways, I will go through all this. Devise Ravine, a boost, winds blowing out, Southern California warming up, Cincinnati has some bats. That makes sense. Toronto, a little boost there in Rogers Center, and then Citi Field with some green. That'll catch your eye. On the opposite end of the spectrum, as I said earlier, Oracle Park, Red Sox Giants, 30% down boost on home runs and 9% on runs overall. That's why I like Webb a lot in that game. Not sure who's starting for the Red Sox, but Giants have been striking out like crazy. So it's Crawford, he's projected. A couple of good pitchers. If you want to have late night hammers, concentrate on maybe some A's, some Braves, some White Sox. Definitely Robert, probably going to be popular. Mix and match a little bit. I'm going to probably go at least 4 A's. I love to do 5 stack attack. I'll show you that in the optimizer. Let me cover this real quick. One of our partners outside of Ballpark Pal is Drafters, drafters.com. A couple of things going on with them. They have right now going on a $2 million best ball NFL contest, $300,000 up top, just for taking the CEO, Contrarian Edge, what I'm about to show you, test drive, 7 days, $1, no obligation going forward from there. We do have 2 incredible offers. Next week, we're going to have something I've never seen, and it's going to disrupt the industry, but I'm not supposed to talk about it other than I'll tell you, you want to tune in and you want to start to probably sign up for an affiliate, which is free right there, and get ready to rumble. There's going to be so much value and fun, and it's in conjunction with this best ball tournament. But anyway, try it for $1. Just for trying it, we'll give you 1 free entry, $20 entry, no obligation. Your chance to win $300,000 up top. If you like drafters right now, this will change probably Monday. But you can currently go to drafters.com, use promo code FSL for Fantasy Sports Logic 100. Put it in there, deposit 100, and they'll match $100 credit, so 200. You could buy or purchase 10 more best ball tournament entries if you want. So all good stuff. Again, as early as next week, something really exciting, like crazy exciting if you're a fantasy sports player and if you're watching this video. A few that know about it now, then you're probably a fantasy sports player. What is this? It's the Contrarian Edge Optimizer, exclusively at the home of Fantasy Sports Logic. What is it? What's it do? What are all these things? I believe it's the only optimizer on the market right now that has 7 live player projection data partners that are crunching numbers with data scientists, simulating games. Ballpark Pal 3,000 times, the Baker Engine 10,000 times, Frank at FTN Data, not to be outdone, 40,000 times. And some of the most long-standing respected providers, RotoWire, been around a long time. They provide data to sites like ESPN, SiriusXM, DraftKings, and so on. Very, very good company. Shannon is there, Frank is at FTN, Aaron is at Ballpark, Charles is a part of Sports Data IO, and they provide the Baker Engine, and then Stats Perform, probably the longest standing, been around since the 80s. Got Corey there, over 100 years of projection providers. And Sport Radar, don't let me leave out Dan, another one. There was Spotlight, been around a long time, but what the heck does all that mean? That's what you're saying, right? That means you can see Today's top projected, always pitchers on top, especially in a full slate. You're gonna see Gosman, Scherzer, big strikeout guys, Wheeler, Garrett Cole, Musgrove, my Brandon Webby, or Logan Brandon. I call him Brandon Abbey, Logan Webb. You see the different providers project them differently. And then this is our proprietary blend, our secret sauce that takes all of this and blends it for you. Shows you our projected ownership. Gosman looks 30%. On a big slate, I'm not sure. Gos could be, always could carry you. One of the higher price. You got Garrett Cole against those Orioles. I don't like that. It's because of the power in those Orioles bat, but we'll see. He is projected solid, except for Ballpark Pal. You got him down there at where'd he go? 12 points, lowest with 3,000 cents. So, anyways, what you can do here, then you can look at the position players, right? And see who's the top. Usually Okana, Potato. Again, 6,600, but still projected to be high owned. I mean, the guy can, again, some of these guys can make your lineup, or if you choose to fade and they don't happen to have great days, like baseball, 1 in 3, you're an excellent hitter, but if you go 0 for 4, you're not going to score any fantasy points, unless maybe you flipped the bat, you walked and stole a base and scored on an RBI or something. Not going to get you up there, but Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, the guys that you would expect. So how does this work, Daryl? Well, it works in a lot of ways. Sorry about that. If you guys are awake, girls are awake. Got pro options, a lot of things. You can do global max exposure, 100%. You want the opportunity for the same person, maybe if it's picking out Acuna, or you can dial it down to whatever you want to dial it down to, max 50, max 40, max 70. You get the idea. Some of this stuff, because what I'm going to show you with the stack attack mode, except for fading, you're like, just don't feel like one of the teams is somebody that's going to pop today, can fade any of them. I normally say Oakland, except they're in Colorado. So you still might want to fade them if you don't think that matters. And then individually, you can min-max pitchers, position players. There's 392 available today. In today's slate, you can hit save. Not going to mess with that, but I just wanted to show you. DraftKings, main slate, FanDuel, same thing. You can go to Turbo Night, some of the late night. You can go to the Showdown. That's all available in there. I'm going to stay on main. I told you I like backing. I'm not gonna, let me see. I'm gonna lock, you don't have to lock. I'm gonna lock in Webb. I told you I like him. Let me see if I'm gonna lock in anybody else. Could lock in Crawford against Webb, giving me 2 late night hammers. Giants been striking out a lot. Weather's not conducive to run, so let me do that. I'll root for the Giants to win after Cutter goes about 6 innings. Webb a complete game, and the Giants win 1-0 on a walk-off home run by Yastrzemski. How's that? There's got Logan Webb. Where is Cutter? He's here. He's locking. It's calculating. It's important as it's calculating to just let it do its thing, right? Because it's got so many providers. There's Cutter Crawford. He appeared in the second. So what I can do now is I can go up here and I could say, show me, I like 5 stacks. 5 normally if you're playing DraftKings, FanDuel. I'm not so sure with FanDuel, a little different scoring. Again, I play primarily with daily fantasy. With DraftKings, the 150 max, like the $3, which is a real popular one now, that probably today is at least 125,000 with at least 10 or 15,000 on top for a $3 entry. There's a 150 max 15 with normally on weekends 50 or 100,000 on top. If you're going to play 150 lineups or at least 20 or somewhere in between, almost every time. I mean, I'm saying it's very rare. I would say at least 90% of the time, and I stand to be corrected by anybody that wants to show me different. The winning team in the top position, or at least in the top 3, has a stack, normally a 5, sometimes only 4, but it's a stack. I put in the pitchers, right? And I said I want a stack of 5. I want some mixture, I want coverage. So I'm gonna have an auto. I could zero in on the A's or whoever because I said Colorado and they may not be as well owned, but I'm gonna just go into auto. It's gonna say stack attack mode is off. I'm letting things run through here, right? It's calculating. And I'm gonna turn stack attack mode on. And I'm gonna show you something beautiful that I don't believe you've ever seen with 7 player projection providers in a blend. But let me show you. Gonna bring up a lot of variation, diversity for coverage, right? But what you're trying to do, you're trying to get, I mean, just my goal, if I play a max 150, I just want 1 at number 1. I mean, if you play $3, max 150 for 450, and I'm not saying everybody's got their own budget, but and you happen to allow me to get into the top spot and win 10 or 15 grand, that's a pretty good night. So, you know, lead towards other nights. So it's calculating right now. Boom, this thing's gotten so fast. I mean, there are like millions of different possibilities, but look, the pictures aren't going to be different. I could have said it different, but again, I just want a late night hammer. Love to get to that game against my heart. Root for putter to get through the Giants lineup most of the way, and then have Logan have his great game against the Red Sox. Not saying that's easy. Red Sox have a tough lineup, but then look at the mixture. What did it throw at us? It's got a Cleveland, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, there's your stack of 5. White Sox Park, conducive for runs, guaranteed field, I think they call it. And then you're going to have 3 other players. You can go 5. Sometimes it'll go 5, 3 of a team. Here it's a mixture, and I like it. Suzuki for the Cubs got some power, batting in the 2 position. And I got Acuna into the lineup, and I got, who was the other one that was? I got Anderson, which is probably trying to showcase what he can do to maybe get picked up. I'm not sure he wants to be traded, but going to a contender would probably excite him. So that's the blend of the 7. You'll see across here, there's 4. There's a slider. You see 5, 6, 7. You see stats performance, sports data.io. But what's important is if you look through the diversity here, I mean, there's hardly anything the same, right? So it's going to give you a blend, but just at a glance at the Boston stack, don't really like that all Boston. See, now that's really, that would really be different. And what you'd be hoping for there is it's almost like Webb goes 6 or 7, maybe throws a lot of pitches, but doesn't give up any runs, maybe 1, gets a lot of strikeouts, but he's at his pitch count, right? And then the Red Sox come back and score some runs. I don't personally like it with my heart. It's possible, right? You would be really different. I mean, hardly anybody would play Webb and stack the Red Sox. But again, the Baker engine simulated it. You get Ohtani as a throw in there, which is a great throw in. You get a Cleveland player lead off with Quan, and who is the other one? J.P. Crawford for Seattle. So again, $1, it's or $1, 1 lineup, it's a dart, and a $3. If that would happen, I mean, you would be in great shape. Not saying it's a smart strategy, but it's what the Baker engine with 10,000 simulations has thrown out there. Ballpark Pal, he likes Baltimore. I like Baltimore. See a nice stack: Rushman, O'Hearn, Urias, Gunnar, Henderson, Santander, and then you throw in Brandon Nemo or Nemo. I'll find out how to pronounce his name. I think it's Brandon Nemo. You can tell how confidence I was. J. Blah Day. So you get somebody in that Colorado ballpark, you get Lindor and Nemo. So a nice combination, diversity. Here is a Colorado stack against those A's. Never a bad thing in Coors Field to take a chance. You get Acuna in there. You get an A as well with Laureano. I mean, what it does is, I mean, yeah, it didn't take long, right? Look at all these. And if you just say, okay, I see a lot of cool lineups. You can say, give me 2 of this, or you can just say, go back to the blend. See how much time we update every 30 minutes. There's more changes, obviously, later in the day. This is the main slate: 4:05 Pacific, 7:05 Eastern. Here's the blend. I could do 150. It allows you to get 15 different combinations of the blend with stacks. They're not all going to be the same. You're going to get a lot of diversity. We program this thing and programmed. Not me, but our incredible talented tech team. The guy, he's on the patent of the GPS chip. He's got a crazy season long. We're coming out with products for best ball and season long anyway. This product is here in baseball. It will be here in football. It will be here in NBA basketball. And we're going to launch a golf product, one price, one time, while in beta. And this is in beta, and it's lightning faster than it was just a week ago. $299.97 one time, all providers. So it's unparalleled and excited. But let me quit rambling. Let's just see. Let's show 20, right? You can see 20 different. Where did it go? The blend worked by 20 there. And then let me see some multiple. Working on it in the background, it's showing you max exposure was set at 100. I could have done whatever. Showing me the number team. It just threw a CSV up there. I'm going to click on it. Now it's uploaded. I can load it into DraftKings. That's 20 of however many I'm going to do at a max. And then gives me all the details, how many different lineups. I got a lot of diversity, right? Twins, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Toronto, Milwaukee, Texas, Dodgers, Yankees. I mean, you got coverage like crazy, right? And I'm going to close it. And voila. Now it shows me exactly, right? I threw it up there already. So when I uploaded it into DraftKings, I would see it. But I can go here and before I actually uploaded it and look. And again, I locked in Webb and Crawford. You could have just let it do its thing, and it would have gave you a variety of pitchers, a mix, a variety of different stacks. If you didn't think 5 was what you wanted, you could have went 4, you could have went 3. Again, I think the higher probability on a bigger slate, one team goes off and scores 9, 10 or more runs. Normally, because of correlation, that stack is going to put you in a better position. If you got to have the pitchers right. I mean, again, this whole thing could go backwards. If Webb or Crawford, either one of them gets rocked. I like probably the intensity of the Red Sox and the Giants. Could be like a playoff game. Giants, every game is critical coming up to the deadline. Every player wants to play well. The pitchers and the weather is conducive to keeping the score down. So again, giving you every reason to like them, but you don't have to. Close that. You can, I could restart this. Going back. And again, whatever you want to do, if you want to individually do your own stacks, you want to load up on the White Sox or the Cubs or the Indians or whoever, Atlanta, never a bad choice, Dodgers. You can pick the amount of players. I mean, there are so many things you can do, but I know there are a lot of great optimizers out there. I don't know of any. 7 live player projection feeds, people say, so what? Well, I think the more data, today's world is data driven. If you don't have a tool like this, most of the successful people have tools. So whether you get this or not, I would encourage you to find something that'll help you. So anyways, all good. What else? This has been long, but with just me. Normally Brandon Abbey would have cut me off by now and said, let's get on to it. You might want to, you want to make some money to play the FSL affiliate program. Currently free. Sign up for free, refer people to the optimizer. There's going to be another package next week. Allow you to make $100 either way. Someone buys a lifetime, one time, all time, one price, currently well in beta. You earn $100 for referral. So it is not limited on how many. I think I said enough. Thank you for, if you did, sticking around and watching. Feel free. I've got a customer that I'm going to do a little overview that contacted me. We do that. I'll do some personalized stuff right now. We literally just got to the point to where I feel comfortable to bring massive amounts of people in. I wanted to make sure the experience was something we were proud of, and it's now only going to get better and better. Like I say, the football's coming. We got a lot of crazy things there, some best ball strategy guides, the drafters might want to take advantage of that. But for sure, if you want to find out next week what's happening, I think you'll like it. I think you'll really like it. Incredible value. So I'll let you be the judge. I'm going to end this. Have a super spectacular, amazingly awesome Friday, July 28th, and I will maybe see you tomorrow if you're here. Thank you.